Hi guys, welcome back to Life with Sam. Oh my god, I'm so excited. It's been this. I'm not going to use that line. Nah, let's stop doing this. It's a new, I'm not saying new year, but it's a new month. Tomorrow is a new month. This month was my mom's birthday, so I just want to say happy birthday, mommy. I love you so much. Mwah. So today's video is we're just going to gist. Okay, we're going to gist. By the way, do you guys like my setup? Tell me what you think about the setup. Do you think the setup is nice? I just wanted something that I could just put my camera and just rest. Please, sometimes it can just like setting up can be so like, what's the word, too much work that you're just like, I'd rather just not. Okay, so today we're going to talk about something that I actually was talking about with a friend of mine today, and I was just like, you know what, I think I just want to share on that, in that line. So we're talking about like how you know, especially being single in as a believer, being single or just as a person generally, and you're surrounded around friends that are in relationship. You know, there are a lot of people that would watching this, the really independent women that would just be like, I don't care. I mean, what? Relationship what? Like, man, do I need a man? What is a man? Is it not just dust? Yeah. So for those kind of people, this video is not for you, except you still want to stay. But all right. But for the kind of people who like, you do desire to actually get married, you desire to be in a relationship, you desire these things, but it just don't be clicking. Like, it just don't be happening. You just not be finding human beings to date, or you just be saying it's just, I'm not gonna use the word. But you should get what I'm talking about. So this is for those kind of people. So please, as I said, if you're independent, if you don't care, if you're just, you don't have to watch the video, okay? So yeah, we're talking about it, and we're talking about how like you don't want to feel like you need someone, you don't want to feel the desire to like want someone, but you still feel it, and sometimes it can take a toll on you. So it's like, how do you deal with those feelings when they come? And should you beat yourself up for desiring someone or feeling lonely sometimes? Should you like be like, oh, I don't like, why am I like, what do you do in a situation like that? So that's kind of what I'm talking about, because let me be honest, I think I would say a few months back, that was me, a few months back, and it was really something that was like a prayer point for me. Now you guys will be like, prayer point, what? Why would this be a prayer point? I think for me it's majorly because all my life I had been that person that I didn't even know it, but I idolized relationships. I was like, relationships, oh my god, relationships, and I kind of idolized it. I won't even lie to you, I'm just going to be very, very honest. And I had a very unrealistic expectation of what relationships look like. Yeah. So I think when I started to really take my wholeness journey really serious, this ending part of this year, like let me say from around June, I really started to take my wholeness journey serious with God. Like when it came to like relationships, when it came to me finding what God has made me to be and my purpose, one of the things that was a prayer point for me was like, God, help me to live above that feeling of loneliness. Help me to know that I don't need any other person except you, that my satisfaction is really in you. By the way, check out the Wholeness song by Young Ecclesia Worship. Trust me, you would love it. I'll put the link down below. So I kind of like was just like, God, like just help me, because at this point let me tell you guys a secret. So I was that kind of girl, but that would just see like a guy that is like Christian and all, and immediately she'd think, can he be the one? Yo, I'll confess it to you guys, because it's people demonize, like, I mean, I wouldn't say demonize, people kind of, you fear as a Christian girl, you fear to be looked down upon if you have these feelings. So people don't even talk about it that much, but I'm the one expressing myself to you, saying that this was who I am, and honestly I am over that. I don't even know how I got here. That's why I say, see, there's something called grace. God, this grace of Jesus, relationship with Christ will change you. I don't know how, but it changed me. So Let's now fast forward to now. So I was that person, and then all of a sudden I just realized that, like, I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be that person. When I looked at someone, like I'll start thinking of fangirling over somebody just like that. I'm not saying the thoughts won't come, but I didn't want to be someone that would even let or entertain the thoughts. I wanted to have renewed my mind and changed how I think about things, to the point where even if that thought comes, it's dismissed immediately. Do you get? So yeah, so that was like me before. So fast forward to now. Sometimes, you know, the thought of, it's not a bad thing to desire to want a person. It's not a bad thing to desire marriage, because let me just be very honest, that's kind of how God wired us, except if you're a person that God did not create you to marry at first place. But that's how God wired us. We are wired for relationships, we are wired for communication, we're wired for these things, you get. But the problem is when you start to idolize it. And let me tell you one of the signs you know that you're idolizing relationships: when your whole Christian life is based about it, where the only sermons you listen to is relationship sermons. I'm not going to say you can't listen to other sermons, but it's like, oh, the new sermons, 7 keys to finding the one. How you know you're the one. How God told me he's the one. How God told me she's the one. Catch yourself. That is how you know that you are idolizing it. When your purpose for your relationship with God, your purpose for what you're doing in life starts to shift from what God has called you to do and marriage, it now starts becoming marriage. You're like, oh no, but God called me to a ministry for marriage. You know, you guys don't understand what's going on. I'm called to that ministry. God has called me to a relationship ministry. Shade. God, I'm wicked. Do you know, people will make videos like this before in the past, and I'll catch my shit and I'll start to feel bad. But there's a solution. There's a solution. There's a solution. There's a silver lining. Okay, so let's keep going. So like, that's kind of like one of the ways you would know that you are idolizing this thing really bad, because when all your focus is just about relationship, I just want to be in a relationship, I just want this, I just want that, trust me, you're the one that is going to suffer it. Because, you know, one thing that God had to ask me at a point is that if you never get married, if you never do those things, will you still be satisfied with life? I'm not saying it's bad to desire it, but can you be satisfied alone in Christ? Can Christ be the only reason why you're living? Can he be the only reason why you wake up in the morning to actually do something in life? Not that it's for a person, but it's for him. Are you guys getting what I'm trying to say? So a lot of times I see so many people, and myself included, this was me, trust me, months back, where it's like you don't even realize it, but you start to idolize this little by little. So what happens is that when a person comes into your life, and that person may not even be God's will for you, but you rather stay in a relationship, you rather stay comfortable, you rather stay in a companionship. Now that person may be a good Christian guy, but he may not even be the will of God for your life. You rather stay in that comfortable situation than to be in the will of God for your life, than to wait until God brings whoever he's meant to bring for you. So that's the problem with lack of wholeness. That's the problem with dissatisfaction in and lack of contentment in God alone, because you compromise. Honest truth, you will compromise. When marriage becomes that desire that you really have. Let's say even let's say you're 30 years down the line and you've still not found somebody. When that is all that you think about, marriage, oh my God, marriage, oh my God, marriage, what's going to happen is that you are going to compromise even more. So it's now going to be that anybody that comes to you'll be like, oh, he's Christian, but he just is a church goer, but he doesn't really love the Lord, and he doesn't pray like that, but he loves it, like he's a church goer. And you compromise because you're just going for what fits for the moment rather than waiting on God. Do we understand? So one of the things that can help so much in this situation is number one, building quality relationship with God. Yes, I said building quality. See, there is nothing greater, like when you shift your focus and actually focus on your purpose. I'm telling you, that is the biggest thing that can help. For me, that was what helped me the most, when I actually shifted my focus and actually put it on God and the purpose and the things that he's actually given me to steward on this earth. That is better than anything. Trust me, that in itself will save you a whole lot of trouble. When you focus on your relationship with God, when you focus on when you focus on walking with him, when you focus on your prayer times, when you focus on studying the word, like those things to fill up your time, trust me, it helps. I think one other thing I would say is take up a hobby. I think one thing that became a hobby for me this past few months were, just say words, hey. One thing that was a hobby that has been a hobby for me this past few months is actually exercising. So I started working out, and I stopped for a month though, let me just be honest. But in that 1 month that I stopped, I wasn't even distracted like that. I wasn't focused on that, and that's why I'm still going on. These are just tips that could help you. So get a hobby, get something that you love to do, get something that you're engaged in, do something, read, just do something, like shift your mind from it. And trust me, you may think to yourself that, oh, how can I shift my mind from it? I can't help it. It's possible. It's as simple as the thought popping into your head and you immediately dismiss it because you have something to do, or because you're trying to focus on something else. You get, so when you're busy, that idle mind, it's because you're idle, because you don't have work to do. That's why you're constantly focusing on this. Because if you're busy, if you're trying to fill up your mind with something else, you would the thoughts would just leave. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So that's one. Focus on something else. Get a hobby, get something to do. And number three, invest in other relationships, your friendships with other people. So you can have your best friends, like your best friends, your girls. Invest in those relationships. You value those relationships, like actually value them. Let me tell you, how you treat your friends, how you treat your best friends, how you treat these people is how you treat your partner or spouse in the long run, because they will become, all those feelings will die down. So invest in those relationships. Actually try to be better as a person in those relationships. Tell them, okay, ask your friends, what am I doing wrong that you actually need help with? Ask them, okay, if they tell you, complain about things, okay, try and see how you can compromise, try and see how you can work out things. Don't just stay waiting for somebody. Actually do something with your life. And number 4, focus on your relationship with God. See, number 1 and number 4 is the same thing, because I'm telling you, it's grace. It's grace and it's grace. I had to speak to God about this, and he actually had to like take my mind off it by making me focus on other things around me, like making me focus on people around me. I stopped being selfish, because when it's all about you, when the problem with it is that when you're so self-centered, like you just focus on marriage because you're thinking about how it's going to please you, how it's going to satisfy you, rather than thinking about how you can be selfless and satisfy other people around you. That's the greatest thing about purpose, because when you're focusing on purpose, you're being selfless, you're thinking about others around you. So whoever will come your way, you would want that person to align with purpose so that you can serve people more. What? I'm preaching. I am actually preaching. Yeah, clap for me in the comment section. So this is one of the things that I think I have really has stuck with me in the past couple of months, in me growing in my faith, in me just it's hard for you to find me sitting down and thinking, like, I can listen to a love song and I just like this song. I'm not thinking, oh God, when, like, I'm like, God, it would be nice like when that person comes, but I'm not like, I won't sit down and be sad, nobody likes me, everybody hates me, I want to hit cockroach. No, that is not going to be me, because first of all, I think God had to like work on my mind to even understand that I'm a babe. Like see, it's not even about me just being a babe, but it's really just the fact that whoever God is going to bring your way, trust. I first of all have one thing to trust. I trust in my Father. I trust in the fact that God is so loving, God is so able, God cares about me so much, God is a good Father, and he will bring the best person for me. So because I have trust in him, like, I don't get worried about these things. I just let it go, and I'm just like, whenever the thought comes like, oh, but what about this, what about this, I'm just like, you know what, Daddy, I leave it in your hands, I'll be fine. And I focus on the things I'm meant to focus on, because that will help you. It will save you a lot of stress and a lot of struggle. Like, don't stress your mind. Like, just focus on the things God has called you to do at this moment. When the time and season for that comes, it will happen. But you also have to learn to be content irrespective of the situation you've been placed in. And that's why studying the word, praying, fellowshipping with God is so important. So I hope this video has blessed you guys. If you've not subscribed to my channel, what are you doing? Like, you're just here for gist. Why? So I hope this video has blessed you. Please stay subscribed to this channel, comment under what you learned about this video, like this video, share this video, and God bless you. Mwah.